Marshall injuries, I guess kind of at least new to us. Any concern, and what would be your plan there moving forward if he can't go?
Well, I don't have any concern, but we'll see. Again, we always judge everything the next day after after treatments and stuff like that. And Chris Clark will be ready to roll, so we'll just continue with that as well if we have to.
In the game?
Yes, at some point it did.
With Garrett Gilbert getting brought back in, would you still anticipate Kyle Allen to be the starter?
Yes, I would. I thought Kyle had an opportunity to come in and play for a little bit of a quarter, and thought he did a nice job.
What did you like about what he did?
I thought his decision making was good. I thought he threw some nice balls, he took pretty good control. It was kind of interesting to watch him, though he has a tendency to walk towards the bench to get the signals, and we don't have to signal anymore because they got the helmet hooked up. So I think that's a little something he'll have to learn and get used to.
Ron, can you say what happened to Tyler exactly with the elbow? And what is
it was the elbow.
Surgery?
No, I'm not getting to guys. I believe me. Last time I did that, everybody got upset. So I'm not saying anything other than he has an elbow.
I know obviously you don't like to talk about injuries, but with Marshall now being injured and Chris Clark was banged up a few weeks ago, and going back Matt Khalil and Darryl, and like that offensive line has been through so much turmoil.
Yep.
Was it almost like too much to take at a certain point?
Well, it's what it is. I mean, you there's nothing you can do about it other than get the next guy ready to play, and that's about it. I mean, I think if it shows you anything, it shows you how thin the league is in terms of reserves. That's why I think this new league, this AAF, is going to be a benefit, because it's going to give young guys an opportunity to play that don't make teams, and it gives them an opportunity to grow and develop. And I think it's kind of I think it'll be a positive thing for us. It'll give young quarterbacks, young offensive linemen, guys that really can help, in this league, get a chance to develop. And I think that's the one thing that's missing, is that, some sort of a quote unquote farm system other than the NCAA.
Is it for guys like that are on the verge of being in the NFL but not quite there? Like
probably like guys that went and played in NFL Europe at one time. Guys that just need a little more seasoning, a little more coaching, I think, to help them get ready, and it could be a very beneficial thing to the league.
Garrett was in kind of a league like that, Ron.
Right.
Was there any? This may be a question for Marty, but were there any kind of did his AAF status hinder this in any way?
No, and I think Marty would be better to ask about that. But but we're fortunate that we were able to get a guy like Garrett come back in, who's solid football player, smart guy, was in our system for almost two full seasons. So it's good to have him back and have him part of what we're trying to do.
Heineke, when he's feeling all the guy you want back next year to take him
going forward, yeah. I mean, you want a guy that's competitive, that competes and knows what you're doing, to be part of what you're doing going forward. I mean, we've got a lot of decisions to make, obviously, and now is really not the time to talk about it. We still have a game left. We're still preparing for New Orleans to go down there and play, and again, with the intent of winning. I mean, that's how we prepared today, and we'll prepare like that on Thursday and Friday and Saturday in terms of getting ready to play.
I know you guys won't activate him at all, and his recovery process is in full starting, but I do want to ask about Cam and how the week of rest has been for him in terms of treatment, in terms of his spirits, everything.
Well, his spirits are great. I mean, he's been around. He's been there for the guys. He was very supportive with Taylor and Kyle, and it was kind of neat to watch after the game, the way he kind of patted them both on the shoulders and hey, tried to keep their spirits up. It was really cool. It really was, and it speaks to his maturity and his leadership, and it was just good to watch. As far as rehab and all that stuff, I know he's been getting a lot of treatment. He spent a lot of time with Ryan and those guys in the training room, so pretty confident that we're heading in the right direction. I know they'll get together at some point and they'll talk about a plan, formulate a plan, talk to the right people, and we'll see what happens going forward.
A networking process is that in terms of researching different things? I know you're involved with some of it, but for them, just talking to as many people as you can about.
And that's probably what they'll do, Jordan. That's beyond me as far as who they need to talk to and what their plan's going to be. But obviously, there's probably some specialists that they'll talk to, some physical therapists they'll talk to, probably again probably some orthopedic doctor they'll talk to, and they'll talk with our guys and they'll figure it out. But as far as that stuff goes, the biggest part we'll play in it as far as that will be the scheduling of OTAs and mini camps.
Most of the reports out of New Orleans, Ron, is that if Teddy Bridgewater doesn't start, he'll certainly play a majority of snaps. Do you start looking at more tape of him and kind of have somebody play him in scout team?
No, the truth of the matter is we're gonna look at what they do, and we'll prepare that way. Norv and Scotty know Teddy pretty well, so they can give us a pretty good insight, a little bit of insight as far as who Teddy is and what to anticipate from him. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. But right now we're preparing to see their best players. We're expecting to see Drew out there, obviously, and Kamara and Ingram and Thomas and the whole bunch. I mean, they're a good football team, and they've got playmakers, and we got to be ready to play them.
Anything else? Cool.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
Why is Kyle's nickname Lovey Dovey?
Oh, I have no idea. I really don't. It probably came from Cam, but I couldn't tell you what it means. I really couldn't.
Hey, Ron, we talked to Greg today, incidentally, and he sounded like he's still kind of trying to figure things out in terms of his future. And you alluded to the other guys kind of in that same boat. I mean, how do you anticipate, how will that all sort of play out this offseason? Is it more so than some other off seasons?
No, I just think, again, it says how his rehab's coming and where he is. I believe the guy has a good football left. I believe the guy can help us. I really do. And he was starting to come back again, and it was exciting to watch him, and especially in what we're doing, how we do it. You guys saw a couple weeks ago against Cleveland how Ian really was able to impact it. And with Greg's skill set, you can see that. It's just, him being healthy. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, we got one more left to play, and then we'll go from there.
Do you think about, though, when you have guys, and Greg mentioned this, that there's some pretty iconic guys in that locker room. Khalil's already said for sure, TD and Pep are kind of a little bit more of a question mark. I mean, do you think about kind of what they've meant and if this could be it for guys like that?
Well, I do, obviously, because they are, iconic, especially to this team and this city. But again, we still have one more left to go, and I think there's a lot of emotions that'll be floating around, and we'll see how guys, once everything settles. But we'll see after Sunday. All right, cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.